We got, just talking about it, we got a 13-piece band on part 2. There is an Allman Brother. There is a pedal steel player that played with Waters and CZ Top, who's on the road with Jamie Johnson right now as we speak. We got a 4-piece horn section arranged by the Mavericks' horn section leader. Their band leader, his name is Max Abrams. Everybody calls him Max on sax. And there's lots of stuff going on part 2. So we're going to do some songs off of that here for a little bit. Have a good time. We'll kick it off with, we'll kick it off with the Preacher Hanging song. He's a bad preacher. I'm from behind the backwoods in northeast Arkansas, so I'll let y'all decide if this is a true story or not. I was down in Atlanta with my good buddy Robert Walden, and he said, "Hey Mudbone, come here a minute. I got something, got a thing in my head, and we need to write a song." And I said, "What you got?" And he said, "All I got is this little thing in my head that says, 'Give a man a little rope.'" And I thought, "Oh yeah, there's a song right there." So we sat down and started writing it. I was like, we got to hang somebody, Robert, in this song, and we got to make everybody be like, agree to that. All the listeners have to be like, yes, we need to hang this fellow. So how do we do that? I said, we need somebody that's easy to want to hang. I guess that would be a crooked preacher. That'd be a good place to start. And he didn't like that very much. He said, no, we can't do that. But then he got a phone call. And I think it was Jesus that called him, because he was on that phone for about 4 hours. And when he got back, I was like, "Robert, I hung the preacher." I hung a preacher to read it. And he's like, "No." And he read it, and he's like, "Well, yeah, I think this might be it." So we worked on it, and we refashioned and polished and did some stuff to it and had a real good time writing it. And I took it back to Nashville and sang it for my good buddy Wayne Mills, who immediately fired me from his band. He said, you don't play guitar for nobody." I said, "That's what you do." He said, "You do that right there." So that was a special moment in my life. Freight train for Wayne in the background. So here's your preacher hanging song. It's called "Rope." He'll hang himself high. That's what Papa told me. Watching that preacher taking off his tie and going crazy, preaching, acting a fool. The whole town and Jesus watching him losing his cool. He had been caught cheating, lying and thieving, the whole time preaching the word of the Lord. The whole time preaching the word. Give a man a little rope. See, he was scheming when it first come around. You take the offerings for the coffers, roll on out of town, but temptation come a creeping. Started sleeping with the wife of a deacon, the whole time screaming the name of the Lord. The whole time screaming the name. Old deacon started preaching at the Wednesday night meeting, where he took to believing he was called by the Lord. When he started wondering where the funds went, thought to check it out, figured out the dealings, started gathering the flock all around him, and they found him. They were up against the wall. The whole congregation caught him right back there in the fellowship hall, and all of the blaming I heard him saying, "Hang him for shame in the name of the Lord. Hang him for shame in the name." Oh, and they did in a cottonwood tree, down in Cooley's Holler, by the graveyard before the ball gets deep. They were quoting them verses, praying and cursing, begging for mercy in the name of the Lord. Begging for mercy in the name. One more time when they laid him down low and tied around the coffin while they dropped him to the ground below. Oh, digging through the rope and the dirt in the hole, spit on the grave while they prayed for his soul. Spit on the grave while they prayed. he'll hang himself high. That's what the deacon said, watching that preacher in his new necktie start swing.